Alright, in this week's video we've got a couple of things that we need to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the discussion boards. You guys have been doing a really good job on the discussion boards. I think the Learning Studio is beginning to work itself out a little bit, and I look forward to having even more in-depth, deeper conversations with you. To that end, remember, this is the major way that I get to interact with you and find out what's in your head, what you know, how you're thinking. So let's go a little bit deeper. You'll notice in this week's instructions that I'm asking you to put a minimum requirement on your responses of 4 sentences. I don't think it's going to take you any more time, but it is going to ask you to think a little bit more deeply and develop your thoughts a little bit more clearly, and that's good for everybody. As always, we're asking that you put your response, that you reply to one of your classmates, and then also watch out for this. You may have noticed in several instances I've written questions to you, additional questions to you throughout the conversation. Check back to that discussion board every once in a while, and if you see a question, please respond to it. We want to try to get that conversation going, get that discussion going. That's why it's called the discussion board. And again, since I can't be with you every week, it really is going to help me get a very good sense of what's going on with you. So the more you can do with that, the better, and we really appreciate it. The other thing that we really ought to talk about is the test that's coming up. We're going to do all kinds of things to help you get ready for that. I know that you're going to be preparing on your own. We think it's going to be a great experience for everybody. We'll talk about the format and all that sort of thing in this week in class, but before we get to that, one of the things I wanted to remind you is that on the very first day of class, we talked about the idea that we don't want to just memorize dates, names, events, movements. That's great. We do need to do that a little bit. But more importantly than that, we want to grasp the narrative. We want to make sure that we totally understand how all these ideas, all these specifics are fitting together. And that's what a historian does. That's really what historical thinking is all about, is trying to weave it all together so that it's significant and it has meaning and that we can really learn from it. And so that's what we'd like to have happen on this first test. Again, yes, of course, there are some things that need to be memorized. We've encountered all kinds of names and all kinds of dates and all kinds of events. But in addition to that, I want you to consider the idea that there have basically been 4 major themes that we've talked about over the last several weeks. Equality, questioning authority, the idea of revolution, and reason or rationalism. And as you prepare for the exam, as you begin to try to master all of those specific ideas, try to put them together in these themes as well. Use these themes as organizing principles. I think it's going to add to our experience. I think we're going to get much more out of the class. I think you'll do better on the test, and I think you'll walk away from the class really feeling a lot more satisfied about the time and effort that you have spent. You got a vacation coming up. I hope that you really enjoy that. Good luck in class this week. I've got some other things for you to watch and some things to share with you there. A lot of exciting stuff coming up this week. I think you might really enjoy it. All the talk about the end of the French Revolution and the age of Napoleon, really pivotal points in Western civilization. So good luck, and look forward to hearing from you on the discussion board.